Today, we're going to be talking about, do you know where to look? Do you know where to look? Um, Father's been teaching us and training us to look within for him, right? And so much of not only the testimonies that each one of you and all of us share is that the practice, the muscle memory that we are creating, we are training the muscle, if you will, of our identity to look within instead of outside of ourself, to look within at the mirror image of his nature and character that we are presently right now, not becoming, but we are. And that place is to manifest that nature, character, the likeness and image of our Father in the earth. That is truly what it looks like, what it is walking in as I am, right? That is I am identity. And so the last couple of weeks, the Father's been bringing back to my mind and heart an encounter I had many years ago. I think it was like in 2014, early 2014 or something like that, 13, 14. And most all of you have heard me share this, so I'm not going to go into great detail about it. Um, but I wanted to bring it up this morning and what Father has asked me to share. Um, I was in a time of worship. Todd and I had gone to a house of prayer here locally, and we were with this small group of people just worshiping a night of worship. And I was taken into a garden where Father stood, and his arms were stretched out toward me, inviting me to take his hands and step into this, what felt like, it wasn't a bubble, but it felt like this space that was completely engulfed in light that was Father. And I couldn't take my eyes off his face and how beautiful he was. My entire being was wrapped in the beauty that I was beholding, and found myself, I was just completely in awe and wonder. And after quite a while of just this perfect space, this perfect silence of not only taking it all in, but it was like it was in this place I was being um transformed isn't the right word. It it was it was every bit, every essence, every molecule was awakening the complete total me. And it's interesting because over the years, to what you just said, Kristen, for years, when I would share this testimony and this encounter, Father's question to me was, "What do you see?" But for years, when I would share it, I would, in my mind, I would hear my name. What Kimberly, what do you see? And it never set right, even though I knew in my being that he was calling my name, but it wasn't Kimberly he was saying. The way I understand my human experience, right? Yet that was the context, the framework of my understanding at the time. And at the last couple of weeks, every time Father's reminded me about this encounter, he's brought up about what his entire being was addressing before he made the question, "What do you see?" And so I started asking him, "Lord, what do you mean by that?" Because, based on what I shared a couple of weeks ago about our name, and that's how we experience and express Father in this created 3D, 4D, if you will, dimension. But that is not our identity. It is simply an expression that actually is so small in the context of our entire being, I am. And so Father began to unpackage this for me when he was talking to me about this encounter. And he said, because I was speaking to your I am, not the sliver that you understand as Kimberly. which was incredible. So I'm going to leave the Kimberly part out because his question to me was to the fullness of who I am. In his question, what do you see? And he asked me that same question 3 different times. And each time, for those of you that have heard me share this encounter before, my response came back with all of this descriptive language of what I was seeing, what I was experiencing, what I was feeling in this place with him, of the full expression of the glory, the beauty, the wonder that I was experiencing in this place with him. It was just phenomenal. It came to the point after the third time that I had no words. I couldn't come up with anything else to describe how wonderful, how glorious, how beautiful, powerful, perfect awe that I was experiencing. I knew the majesty wasn't just contained within that space I was standing with him, but was vibrating through us, if you will, like rolling waves and ripples throughout all of creation. And it was continuous. It was this continuous vibration frequency of I am, of oneness, of glory. There was no place or space that was waiting for the next wave or the next ripple to hit. It was a continuous wave of I don't even have words, honestly. And after the third time of him asking me, what do you see? I was frustrated because I couldn't think of any other way, any better, deeper, more thorough way to explain what I was experiencing in the beauty of the one standing before me. And I want to make that clear. The majesty and the beauty of the one I was perceiving stood before me in my understanding at that time. And my response ended with, Lord, I don't even know how else to express it. Where else do I go to find the words to explain the glory and the majesty you are? And he said, this is you. You're looking in a mirror. You're looking at yourself. And in that moment, I realized there was no pause. There was no, this will be you in the future. There was no, this will be you as soon as you deal with da 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 list. There was no, this will be you, or this is you in the spirit, but dot dot dot. None of that. You are looking in a mirror.